Hey Nick, we need a tagline for the podcast.
No.
Real life opinions. Movie reviews told by fans and not critics.
Oh. Are you up for a little quest, Donkey?
All right, that's more like it. Shrek and Donkey on another whirlwind adventure. Ain't no stopping us now. Whoa, we won't move.
Stop, Donkey.
I have misjudged you.
Join the club. We've got jackets.
On my honor, I am obliged to accompany you until you have saved your life and you have spared me mine. I'm sorry, the position of annoying talking animal has already been taken. Let's go, Shrek!
And we're back.
It's like a commercial break, but a week.
I think we said last time, same bad time, same bad channel.
Yeah, which it wasn't. We're actually a day later, but
We are a day late.
that's all right.
Wow. How did we do that?
Well, I was
Okay.
busy.
Can we blame Laura?
We could.
It wouldn't be accurate,
No.
but we could.
Blame hockey.
Blame hockey?
Yeah.
Like the cause and solution of all life's problems. Hockey.
Yes.
So we're doing Shrek 2 today.
Remember in Family Guy Star Wars when they're doing the last one and
Wait,
It's like-
1 second. We guest announced the movie we're doing, and you're already talking about a different show.
Well,
I think
no.
that's a new record.
this segues because it's like where they're like the power goes out and instead of being like all reactionary like they were the last ones, they're like, oh, we're gonna do Jedi, aren't we? So that's kind of how I feel about this one here. It's like, you know what? Shrek 1 was a lot of fun, both the movie and the podcast. And so it was the natural flow of things to do Shrek 2.
Shrek 2's a good movie.
Yes.
So, like, it's not like we're doing Shrek 3 or Shrek 4 here.
Shrek the Fourth?
Are we going to do Shrek 3 and 3?
No.
Like, yeah.
Shrek the Halls.
Shrek-
Actually, Shrek the Halls was a lot of fun.
Maybe we'll do Shrek the... We should do all the Christmas versions of all the movies. We should
Yeah.
like... Is there like an Indiana Jones Christmas special?
There probably isn't, no.
I bet you there is a young Indiana Jones episode with the Christmas special.
There you go.
Yeah. You think there's a Terminator Christmas special?
I'm gonna go on a limb and say no.
Oh, I know for a fact there's a Barbie Christmas movie out there somewhere.
Of course, there's probably more than one, I'm sure.
We're going to do Shrek the Halls and a Barbie Christmas. A Barbie Winter Wonderland.
Yeah. I'll be sick that day, so.
We'll just keep postponing it, Corey. Don't worry. We'll wait for you.
2029.
The podcast just stops at December 20th, like 5 years later.
We'll have that voice like a few moments later.
So, you're not thrilled about doing Shrek 2?
Yeah, Shrek 2 is a lot of fun. I'm just excited. It's October Eve. And by that, I mean by the week, not by the day. And what's it called? I'm just excited for the scary movies in October. So
You just can't wait that long, eh? You're just like, nope. I know Shrek 2 is up, but I want to do my scary movies.
I
Eh?
got
Is
scary
Lost?
movies on the mind.
If spoiler alert, we're doing Lost Boys next week. Is that a scary movie?
Yes.
Is it really?
It's still an 80s movie, so it's got an 80s soundtrack and it's got 80s clothes and it's got 80s lines, but the scene where they end up like attacking the bad guys is grotesque and especially as a kid. Like I was like 8 or 9 years old when I first watched it, and it was not for kids' eyes.
So, getting into Shrek 2, I just want to say right off the bat, the animation's greatly improved.
Yeah, no, DreamWorks really, Shrek made DreamWorks. And
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
without
think,
Shrek, there would not be DreamWorks.
no. And so once all of a sudden Shrek made them rich, they started putting it into the project that gave them the money. So
I honestly think in 2001, when the original Shrek came the technology just wasn't there. Like you look at A Bug's Life, Toy Story, like the original Toy Story,
Yeah.
the quality was not there in those movies.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, Toy Story 1 was 1995.
Yeah. And hand-drawn animation was still pretty popular, right? Like I think Atlantis came out at this time. Would have been right around this time, right?
Yeah, and Atlantis was amazing. So,
Very forgettable though because it wasn't CGI.
yeah.
Right? I shouldn't say the time of Shrek 2. The time of Shrek 1, right? Shrek 2, I think Disney had kind of moved away from it.
Yeah, well, and I know they, like, Atlantis is one of those movies they still say to this day people want a live action version of. And I agree. I think that movie could actually use a live action. Done.
Stop with the Renaissance movies. Stop with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you know why they do it, right?
Money.
Well, besides the obvious, is they will lose the license to those characters if they don't use them in an X amount of time.
Oh, I have heard that.
Yeah,
right?
So that's their way of maintaining the license and not losing it.
Just make a cartoon show.
Yeah, something. Although Disney Plus is getting oversaturated too, so.
Yeah, that's what they did with Winnie the Pooh for years, right?
I love the cartoon for Winnie the Pooh. I agree with that. I watched that growing up all the time.
Like the New Adventures of Winnie the
Yeah.
Pooh? Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh Bear.
Of course, I mean, to date me even further is I remember when Family Channel first went on air and they had Winnie the Pooh and it was like people in costumes.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh, man. It was so bad, but so good.
Yeah, that does make a little bit of sense that they're trying to continue on the licensing, right? But, whatever. Funny story. Spider-Man's about to become public property, eh? Like
really? After fighting between Sony and Marvel Studios?
Yeah, like the rights. I don't know how it works. The movie rights is a little different, but like as a character, and I think Superman and Batman are technically public properties, public domain properties now, eh?
I don't know if it's yet, but I heard that one too because the ongoing joke that sell the Snyderverse to Netflix.
They could do it.
Could happen. I mean, it wouldn't be the Snyderverse. People need to realize Zack Snyder's done with it, but that would be funny if in the end DC, because right now the Snyderverse is going on Prime. So
hot take. Is it a hot take? I don't know if it's a hot take. It wasn't a hot take 5 years ago. Snyderverse is rubbish.
Yes. I will honestly fight everybody who doesn't like Batfleck. I think Batfleck was incredible, except when they made him funny in those couple moments there. That was terrible. But I think Ben Affleck nailed the role, in my opinion.
Yeah. If you need a Batman that murders people, yes. He is the most murderous Batman.
Batman had a gun in the comic books back in the day.
Yeah.
But no, like, I hated Nightmare Bat. Like, the whole Nightmare scene, scenario, whatever you want to call it, was so stupid.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid.
So, and that's where you have him in the trench coat with the shotgun or wherever the hell he was toting there. That was dumb. But, like, the warehouse scene was top notch. Him as Bruce Wayne was exactly what I pictured Batman as Bruce Wayne as. So, anyway.
So, the new additions to this cast. What do you think of them? Like, John Cleese. How do you go wrong with John Cleese?
You can't go wrong with John Cleese.
He's not as funny as you would expect him to be. Because, Monty Python. But, like, John Cleese does really good on this.
My favorite John Cleese thing, well, I mean, Monty Python's great and all, but it is Rat Race. No. I loved him in Rat Race, so...
Rat Race was stupid fun.
We would have to do that movie one time. I just did great movies. So,
what about the fairy godmother and Prince Charming, who's we just Googled the names of those actors and actresses, and they both escape.
Yeah. But I know they were
terrific new characters, right? Like Prince Charming's introduction in this movie is actually really good.
Oh, Prince Charming's introduction is hilarious.
Monologuing as he's going through all these trials.
And the flicking of his blonde
Yeah.
hair. And
You're just like, oh yeah, who's this brave knight? And then you realize it's him monologuing it like just the biggest douchebag.
yeah, I think those characters were kind of forgettable for me, but
Really? How do you forget Prince Charming?
not so I shouldn't say the characters, but the iterations of the characters in this. Yeah, August 27th is my birthday. Anyway, but they didn't have a lasting effect on me. I did like, again, John Cleese is the king, Julie Andrews is the queen. I mean, I like how Julie Andrews still likes to keep her feet in the water of family entertainment, so that's always nice. You never hear of Julie Andrews in an R-rated movie. You always think of her in a family movie. So.
Could you imagine her in an R-rated movie? Like Mary Poppins at the age we were talking about public domain properties.
Yeah,
but they just did a Mary Poppins movie not that long ago, so you probably can't do a Mary Poppins movie. But could you imagine an R-rated
starred
Mary
Michael
Poppins?
Rooker.
Julie Andrews determined with Michael Rooker.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
They're both Disney princesses, really. Well, I guess Mary Poppins is not a princess, so.
No. Either was Yondu, but
I love how they turned two very forgettable Disney tropes into the villains. Like Prince Charming's supposed to be the hero.
Yeah.
In a couple different Disney. And then there's the magical fairy godmother who's like another Disney trope.
Think of Cinderella, right? And she's like, oh, she grants your wishes. She makes you happy.
And there's fairy godmothers in Sleeping Beauty as well, right?
Well, there are fairies for sure, but yeah.
They're godmothers, I guess. Well, maybe not.
Maybe they were Aurora's godmothers too. I don't know. And then, of course, Tinkerbell's a fairy. So
yeah.
So there are a lot of fairies in early Disney. So
I love how she's just like an evil prick in this movie.
Yeah. Her and Prince Charming conspiring against Shrek. So
I think she's a better villain than Farquaad. Honestly, I love John Lithgow. I love him, and Farquaad's kind of amazing. But
Farquaad wouldn't have been as amazing if it wasn't for John Lithgow.
Oh, so. John Lithgow gets I don't know. I don't understand how someone that was off screen brought such a character to life. But it's same with, we talked about Eddie Murphy and Mike Myers too, right?
That's signs of a good voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
Like Robin Williams is probably the best voice actor of all time, and every character he ever did animated, he brought to life. Whether it be the genie, whether it be the bat in Fern Gully, whether it be anything he's done as a voice actor, it's its own soul.
The thing about Robin Williams, though, it's Robin Williams being Robin Williams when he's in a cartoon. Think of one where he's not just Robin Williams. Mike Myers, you don't even recognize him in here.
Yeah, no.
You recognize him a little bit, right? If you watch So You Married an Axe Murderer, but and Eddie Murphy,
Fat
it's
Bastard.
Eddie Murphy. Yeah. Oh, and Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
What a good addition. Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
As much as I love the fairy godmother and Prince Charming, Puss in Boots was the best addition to this.
Well, totally. And look at the love he got. He got his own spin-off, and he just recently had another spin-off, and that says a lot because Shrek 1 was 2001. So
I might make you do the new Puss in Boots spin-off. It was actually really good.
Yeah, like I said, I never got a chance to watch it. It's nothing against it. I just didn't watch it. So
no, I want to touch on Puss in Boots' introduction a little bit. The Xenomorph scene where he's in such Shrek shirt.
Yeah.
I've
seen that movie.
And then he almost dies by a hairball. He's just I'm going to kill Shrek. Hair.
Yeah, Antonio's pretty great. He's another guy that really has done no wrong, in my opinion. So, in everything he's done. So,
I almost feel bad for him because, he almost feels like an afterthought in Hollywood at this point. Like,
Well, he was in the new Indiana Jones movie.
yeah, he should have been like, oh my god, it's Antonio Banderas. It's just like,
No,
who
I
is it?
remember watching it the first time. Like, who is that?
yeah,
Oh my god, that's Antonio Banderas.
and that's
Oh shit, they killed him.
Antonio Banderas deserves more love than that, right? Like, he deserves to be the leading guy in movies still. I think.
Yeah, he. Crap, what was that movie he was the villain in? Semi recently, action, not adventure, almost like spy like. I don't know. Anyway, he's a really good villain. He's a great hero. I mean, he his claim to fame, like what brought him out, was Desperado, and so he was that hero.
I'm down for doing the Once Upon a Time in Mexico trilogy at some point, except for the last one. Like we'll do the last one, but like the actual Once Upon a Time in Mexico is the weakest of those movies.
What was the third one again?
Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Oh, okay. What was the first one then?
Mariachi. It was a mariachi.
Yeah, I was like, it had a Mexican name. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course Desperado. Yeah. So. Yeah, Robert Rodriguez is pretty cool. He's done some weird things, but he's pretty cool. So. And actually, Desperado, I believe, was one of Salma Hayek's first movies too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, she really brought the crowds to that movie, eh?
Yeah, she still brings her. She's still hot. Anyway,
We got to work on this, Corey. Got to work on this.
Focus? No,
Focus.
no.
Hocus Pocus?
Yeah.
Focus. No, never mind. Did you like Fairy Godmother as a villain?
I like putting her as a villain. Like I said, in my opinion, the character in the end was forgettable. But I think
I disagree with you about her being forgettable.
I don't know, like this movie again, I don't know how many years old. I don't remember when this part 2 came out, but I think that whenever I think of this movie, she's one of the last people I think of, even though she was the villain. And that says a lot because I'm a villain guy, so the villains are always the first people I think of in every movie. So
Man, I would have thought that because she's very bombastic in this, and like she does not give an F about giving it back to Shrek.
yeah,
Like she's one of the few people in the Shrek ones that are just like not intimidated by Shrek at all.
she's magical.
Yeah. She's just like, whatever you think you can dish out, I can take you, right?
Yeah. I love how the Queen has almost this exact same hair as Prince Charming.
Oh my god. I'm looking at it right now and it's totally true. I'm picturing her with Prince Charming's face. It's unsettling. Look, she has the hairnet right now that he has in the beginning scene.
Yeah.
I really appreciate, like, they had a chance at the end of this movie to be like, well, we're just going to make them both human and beautiful. And they didn't go that route. Thank God.
Yeah, that would have been a little too conformist.
I don't like... I always hated that about movies. Like, this is how we're just going to give you the nice ending. Well, and not... They gave us a nice ending in here, but like they...
Not the American way ending.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think of first when you think of this movie?
Again, always Shrek, always Donkey. I'm a big Donkey guy. Like in the all 4 movies and the Christmas one, I think of Donkey and I think of Shrek.
The scene with Donkey in the far, like going to far, far away.
Are we there yet?
I've been there in the car rides where it's just like, no, don't ask again, and the kids start making that super like.
Yeah. Are we there yet? Yeah. Really? No. But yeah, Puss in Boots had an impression on me, but again, it had an impression on everyone, hence why he's still around.
Well, that scene where he does the hat and the eyes.
Yeah, and they played that with all his movies. Like even this 2 spin-offs, they played that scene.
Oh, it's hilarious in the spin-offs because it's just like, oh, you're gonna do that, and then what's the other cat's name now? There's another cat in the
Oh,
spin-offs.
say I didn't. What?
I want to say like Soft Kitty or something like that, but that's not it.
Probably not.
No, it's definitely not. But she like does the cute eyes right back to him. Do you love the union scene?
Yeah.
We're with the union. Yeah, how are you getting treated here? To be honest, like, we don't even have dental. They don't even have dental. I really enjoy the banter between Shrek and Puss in this one, eh?
Yeah, and again, obviously Donkey, but that honestly, I mean, that's the Shrek movies in a nutshell too. Like the banter is freaking bar none.
Yeah,
Like,
Eddie Murphy just brings it.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I think the fourth one they don't have Donkey in it very much. Like, I know there's like an alternate reality thing, and I don't remember very much Donkey. And Shrek with kids is kind of boring.
yeah. Again, though, the Christmas special was pretty funny. So
I honestly don't think I've seen the Christmas special.
it's like 45 minutes long. That's
Yeah.
it. So, but it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so why do stupid disguises work in movies? Like Shrek and that stupid overcoat that
Yeah.
only fits onto his head.
And then he's got the gloves over his ears. I mean, don't forget, DC spent its entire career making us believe that a guy without his glasses is a completely different guy. So,
You don't think Clark Kent ever like accidentally broke his glasses in the office one day, and Lois Lane was like, "Wait a minute!" Like, she's like one of the best reporters in the world,
Yeah.
and she can't
but
figure
no,
out
yeah,
she can't figure out that Clark Kent, the guy writing it on the typewriter beside her, is Superman.
except for yet again the Snyderverse, where she knew who he was before they even met.
Wow.
And just
Like in the
lame.
comics, they eventually go that route too. But like he spent like 70 years,
Yeah,
her not knowing who the heck he was, or maybe it was 50 years.
I remember one writer once upon a time actually made it. It's like, oh no, he's got a special power that makes people see a different face when he has his glasses on. I'm like, now you're just digging.
Yeah. Why don't you turn him blue and give him lightning powers, right?
Yeah.
So why would Donkey drink the potion?
Because he's got a dragon to impress.
he's got a dragon to impress.
I'm pretty sure he looks between his legs after he drinks the potion. So, I love the innuendos in these movies.
I love it when he comes out of the barn like, I'm a stallion!
Yeah.
Oh. I don't like Sexy Shrek.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, to say the least.
He's not even that sexy. Like, he's got a roguish good look about him, but I wouldn't swoon over him like the way they do in this movie.
He reminds me of a mixture of John Goodman and Patrick Warburton.
Oh yeah, I see that. I was more. What was that guy from Star Trek Deep Space Nine? He was also in Con Air. He had like a Scottish accent. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. He's a guy with a really nice car in Con Air. I think his name was like O'Brien in Deep Space Nine.
I know who you're talking about. I got nothing.
That's who I see when I see Sexy Shrek. I do see the Patrick Wahlberg for sure. And who was the other one you said?
John Goodman.
And John Goodman.
Yeah.
Little bit of the John Goodman.
Like, he kind of sort of reminds me of
he's too good looking.
What's his name? His character in Emperor's New Groove.
Oh yeah. Couscous.
No, Couscous was the
Couscous was
Emperor.
the Emperor.
Yeah.
I don't remember who the John Goodman character was in that. No.
But him.
Yeah, I remember.
Either way. Yeah.
Ironically, John Goodman and Patrick Wilbur were both in that movie. Because he was. Because I remember.
Kronk.
Why can I remember Kronk? Right.
Everybody remembers Kronk.
That was a good movie.
That was a good movie. I might have to sneak in one of these days too. So.
Have we done Disney yet? We haven't done any Disney yet,
I
have we?
think we have.
If we do a Disney, let's do Emperor's New Groove first, okay?
That sounds good. I think, and it's funny because I hate Disney movies because I hate princesses, and that's the type of Disney movie I hate. I mean, they've made a lot of great movies, but I think if we also do a Disney movie, we need to do Enchanted because it's the perfect tongue-in-cheek spoof of its own movies.
I don't know if I ever watched Enchanted.
It was a lot. Plus, Amy Adams is hot, so.
I said we were going to work on this,
But
no,
she is.
Oh. Oh my god! When Shrek tries on the wrong size clothes. Oh.
It's like a scarecrow.
You know what I don't like about this movie, though, as opposed to the first one? The soundtrack. Like, there's one or two great tracks, but like, there's a lot of like the first one had a lot of original artists songs. Like it was like
Yeah.
the version from the original artist. This has a lot of famous songs
Done by other artists.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like Smash Mouth did a good chunk of the soundtrack in the first one, but again, like you said, I mean, I guess not. I'm a Believer. That wasn't their song, and either was.
But it was still a Smash Mouth song.
Yeah,
right?
like you could find that on the radio or on an album.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course All Star. But yeah, this one, like you had kind of pointed out, that song changes, which I can't remember who did that originally, but
it was a David Bowie song.
Yeah, I knew that. Can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, no, the version in this movie not so good.
What about what's another one? I don't mind the fairy godmother version of I Need a Hero, but it's not as good as the Bonnie Taylor version, is it? It's not near as good.
Tyler? Yeah.
I always thought it was Taylor.
No, it's Tyler. But either way, Bonnie Tyler was an amazing, or isn't amazing. She's still around, I'm sure. Anyway, she had an amazing voice. So
I do really love that scene with the I Need a Hero and like the giant gingerbread cookie. Probably my favorite scene in this whole movie. The scene when they're escaping the factory. I don't even know what that song is, but it's like it doesn't feel like a chase scene movie, does it?
No, whether it be the instrumental or the actual soundtrack, it just wasn't well, and that could be the thing that separated this movie from being great. Like, and it sounds lame, but a lot of movies are made or broken by their soundtrack.
The original Shrek soundtrack was like the original compositions were amazing, and they had a lot of what's the term when you use like licensed music? They had really great licensed music, and like it's almost like they wanted to save the money in this one, and like we're gonna make new versions of songs for less money instead of like paying artists for their songs, but we're going to up the money on the animation, right?
Yeah, and I mean certain movies, it's a chance for new artists to show off their cover of a song, and it can work. I can't remember what the movie was, but there was a movie where somebody did a children's choral version of "Creep" by Radiohead, and it was amazing.
Wasn't Guardians 3, because that was an acoustic version.
No, this was
which
just
was amazing.
This was a drama. It was just an ordinary drama.
I do remember that.
Yeah, it was outstanding, and nobody would have pictured it, right? I mean, that's not really a family-friendly song, and of course they put the radio edited version, but still, yeah, it was just absolutely incredible and chilling with the children's voices. So
The only original or licensed song that stands out in this one, like I think Electric Avenue was the original licensed song when they first come into Far, Far Away.
yeah,
I
rock onto
Electric Avenue. Get you to time. Which I didn't like that song really, but it kind of fit the scene because they're coming into Beverly Hills. I mean, Far, Far Away.
Yeah.
And I do like the Counting Crows song. We didn't talk about the intro at all, did we? I freaking loved their honeymoon.
Yeah.
Like when the Little Mermaid is making out with Shrek and Fiona gets
Freaking spins and whips her into the ocean, then sharks attack her.
oh.
I love the Joan Rivers red carpet scene.
Oh wait. All of Far, Far Away is such a huge spoof of Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Which is funny because the first Shrek is all about making fun of Disney. This one's almost all about making fun of the movie industry, right?
Yeah, well, and like I said, Hollywood.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, DreamWorks was kind of, well, they weren't really outsiders of the movie industry, but like, I do love how they poke fun at themselves like that. You know, Shrek, the everyday person going into this far, far away land, knowing he's not going to fit in.
Yeah.
I hate the fish out of water story, but it works in this movie.
It's cliche for sure. Oh, look, it's the OJ chase.
Well,
oh, and it's the Rodney King scene.
Dude, we're watching the point where they spoof cops, and I love the pepper spray with real pepper. Oh, and the catnip on the that's not mine. Oh, you know, I'm sure no kids got this joke back when it came out.
Was Cops even a thing anymore at this point?
Cops? I think Cops is still going.
Is it really?
Yeah, Cops has been going for a long time.
We are a deprived generation.
Yeah. Oh, we're at the point of the movie where Fiona has been fooled by Prince Charming. I hate that. I guess he's so slimy.
Well, I think what I like is that the king, who wanted this essentially, realizes the folly of his ways, and he feels really awful about it.
The king was kind of made out to be the antagonist at the beginning of the movie, like the dinner scene with Shrek.
Yeah.
Who hasn't been in there where like your daughter brings an ogre to the table, right?
Obviously.
And like he looks like he's going to be the antagonist of the whole movie, and then you know he warms up to be a pretty good guy towards the end. Still not making the best decisions.
No, but he realizes that Shrek really was the better man. Thing.
Well, he realized that was Fiona's choice, right? And you got to respect your daughter's choice.
That's why I don't have girls.
Yeah?
Because I'd be so scared of how I would be with them bringing home boys.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh my God. My niece is like at the age where she's wearing clothes that I'm just like, oh my God, my daughter's going to be wearing that soon. And I hate it. I hate it. I like do not want to see my daughter wearing like these short shorts or like these tank tops. Like, no, just please. I never thought I'd be that kind of dad, but I fucking hate it.
I think every dad ends up being at least a little bit that kind of dad because every father is protective of their child, and more so, generally speaking, with the daughters. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny how very different we are with the boys, right? Very different.
Yeah. Well, we just automatically assume, and it's terrible, but we assume, oh, they're boys and they can handle themselves. Whereas the girls, no, we have to stand up for the girls. We have to protect the girls.
And it's not a fair.
No, it's not. Like, I don't mean to be that way, and I feel like I give my kids a lot of leeway. But at the same time, they know my expectations and they respect it. So
I worry for my daughter a lot more than I worry for my boys, and it's probably unfair for me to worry about my daughter as much as I do, and it's unfair to me worry about my boys as little as I do in that regards. In that regard, I worry about my boys in different ways. Right? Like
totally.
I purposely try to be hard on my boys because I want them to be better than me.
Yeah,
right?
that's what we all want. So
Yeah, it's the difference between a mother and a father too, right? Like a mother wants to protect their son and wants to have their daughter grow, and father wants their son to grow and protect their daughter. That's just kind of the way it is, right? It's the natural thing.
one of my wife, of course, loyal listener Lisa, she still calls my children her babies, and they are 19 and 15, and that's cool. I think that is absolutely adorable. So
We call our baby the cellar dweller because he stinks in the basement. FYI, happy birthday, Nick. Happy 17th birthday to Nick.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Yeah. Not that you're ever going to listen to this.
Well, we tried to get him to do a tagline for the podcast. That didn't work out.
I wanted to invite him on the podcast one time and just have him give single line answers.
It'd be like that whole we talked about the other day, the whole Jason Voorhees on Arsenio Hall thing.
Yeah, the Arsenio Hall thing. We're finally at the giant gingerbread. I almost want to just stop the podcast and listen to the I Need a Hero.
I like it. It reminds me of a mixture of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and the Statue of Liberty from 1 and 2 Ghostbusters.
So, giant monster attacking New York, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it has the Godzilla feel. It has the King Kong feel. It has, like I said, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man feel. The only reason I said the Statue of Liberty is because there's somebody controlling him, essentially.
This is true.
So,
yeah. Shrek's on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Just like the Ghostbusters.
So, but yeah, you said it best. The giant monster attacking the city. So,
I kind of love the battle scene at the end. This if there's any part of this movie that I would say is probably my favorite, it's either Puss in Boots or the final battle scene.
Final battle was great. I mean, the "Are We There Yet" scene and the final battle are my two favorites. So
yeah. So the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie are really good. Everything in between is kind of subpar to you.
It was there. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about ratings yet. So I was gonna say it's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite. So.
Well, I guess it comes that time, Corey. Final thoughts?
Again, from someone like me who I think this might only be, sadly, my second viewing of it. It's okay. It's fun. Again, the characters make it fun. The story was okay.
Did you see a lot more sight gags this time, watching the second time? Because there's a lot of sight gags in this movie. Especially coming into Far, Far Away.
Yeah, they're there, yeah. I think DreamWorks, in a nutshell, is all about sight gags. That's what made...
Especially the Shrek movies.
Yeah, but that's what made movies memorable, really, is that you can go back and say, oh, I just saw... It's like watching a Stephen King movie. He loves to nod his other stuff in his works.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much fun. Like, The Dark Tower, which is probably his worst movie, had the most referencing to all of his other properties. It was phenomenal.
It was kind of heartbreaking how not good The Dark Tower was.
And it's such a great cast, too.
And that movie should have been terrific. And it really fell flat.
Well, how do you take, 4 books and cram it into an hour and a half? I think it was 2 hours. But
you make one book at a time.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
So...
Oh, well. You're going to not like me, but I think this gets a 3.5 Indiana Jones out of 5 for me. But I like
Wow.
kid movies. A lot of kid movies I really enjoy. I think that it is an improvement on the first Shrek, and I stand beside that Shrek is my favorite rom-com of all time. This has a logical continuation of the Shrek story to me. Like, oh hey, I married a princess. Now I got to go meet the parents.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I appreciate when a sequel is a logical continuation of the story. Where like Ghostbusters 2, it's Ghostbusters 1 with a different villain. Terminator 2, it's Terminator 1 with another Terminator. Like, when movies do that for having a sequel for sequel's sake, drives me nuts.
That's fair. Yeah, like this movie is, well, no, I'd say it's a solid 3 out of 5 for me too. Um, it's not a bad movie. It's not in my list of favorites, but it's not a bad movie.
I should probably give it a little bit lower than a 3.5 out of 4 Indiana Jones. Maybe a 3 now that I'm resending my 3.5. No, I gave Shrek 1 a 3.5, didn't I?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4. So
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my 3. This is on par with the original Shrek, so I better keep with 3.5 out of 4 Indiana Jones. It's a good half of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh. Well, Corey, you know what to do.
yeah,
Unless you don't know what to do.
I do. We have.
You sure you know what to
we were
do?
talking about next week. We are. It is October next week. We will be starting.
Wait, we've been talking about October? What? I feel like we talked more about upcoming podcasts more than this podcast.
Yeah. You can't tell at all where my passion lies. So
yeah, I like watching dragon sex porn, and you are all about vampires from the 80s. What the heck?
And I get commented on my. But no, so next week, like I said, we're doing Lost Boys. It's the kickoff of our October month of horror. So we've got Lost Boys for next week, which is going to be a mixture of nostalgia and soundtrack and horror. So I mean,
spoiler: I've never seen Lost Boys.
Yeah, so we need to fix that. What's it called? So that's pretty exciting. So Joan Rivers did play Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers played Joan Rivers, eh?
Anyway, and so we just want get everyone excited for it. So you know where to follow us to find out what's happening. Hit us up on Instagram, Real Life Opinions. Hit us up on Facebook, Real Life Opinions. Obviously, you're listening to us on Spotify, if not wherever you can catch your podcasts. I think this is the only place, though. But anyway, yeah, so hope to get more followers. We want to keep doing this as long as we can. So I'm having a great time, and Jeff's been a great host. I'll say host. I feel like I'm a co-host because Jeff takes control, and I appreciate that more than he'll ever know.
I feel like a little bit with this one. I had to a little bit.
Well,
more,
this one I was.
You were not feeling this one.
I don't want to say I checked out, but you're right. I was not involved in this one.
Yeah, the next one. I know Laura's going to be involved in the next one, so hopefully the next one I get to like kind of lay back and relax.
Yeah, you'll be an observer on the next
I'll be
one.
like,
so.
yeah. That's a fair point. Yeah,
yeah. What he said. Yeah.
Okay, keep your stick on the ice, folks.
Have a good one.
Is that it?